What's going on, Saber fans? Justin with Vanguard Armory. Well, I am doing an unveiling and just a quick review of the big boy from Sabercraft. Now, this saber, I wasn't expecting it to be as cool as it was, and it has become one of my all-time favorite sabers that I've ever handled. The craftsmanship and engineering behind this saber is just phenomenal, and a lot of people, I feel, wouldn't really understand the quality of what they're receiving, and so I'm kind of just going to go over it piece by piece and kind of show you what I can without disassembling it, because the saber has already been wired and assembled by me. So upon first inspection, a lot of things I took in consideration were: how was the quality of the aluminum? What was the quality of the threads on all the parts? How well did it go together? How was the fitment? And all of these exceeded my expectations phenomenally. And I wasn't expecting it to be as install friendly as it was. The chassis that it comes with, the Saber Thorax, is just a brilliantly designed system, easy to install for almost every single soundboard that's out there, and was a perfect fit for the Plectra Prism, which I installed. And I'll show you the Thorax here in just a little bit. But as you can see, I kind of went and did some modifications. I painted in some black accents in the grenade grip and painted that section of the choke there black as well to kind of mimic a Luke ROTJ fill. And I painted some black accents in the little copper activation card. Now, I kind of want to go over this activation box with you guys and how just insanely brilliant this is. Now, this whole entire system is machined from 6061 aluminum, and this whole box was CNC machined. Now, it came ready to go with this USB charge port with a USB charge adapter already wired up and wired to the Saber diaphragm, which sits about right here in the Saber. Not only that, but it came with all the accent LEDs pre-wired into the box with this kill switch, which boots up the Saber. And it's just amazing. And then this whole copper clamp card right here is solid copper with some machine lines in it. And the switches are all in like a spring switch plate underneath of this, which allows for easy and nice comfortable press excuse me, nice comfortable pressing of, you know, the main switch and the auxiliary switch. And I'll remove it so you can kind of see the bottom of it. Alright, so I've removed the copper clamp card. Now here's what it looks like right here. It's nice and thick, nice and heavy. It matches right here, matches the taper of this part of the box, and right here matches the taper on this box, or chamfer I should say. Now the inner design right here, this is the spring switch plate, so it allows easy pressing of the front switch and back switch. And if you notice these little cutouts along the inside right here, the back of the card has raised sections that you can see with the light reflecting off of, and it fits perfectly in here. So they're low profile enough that you can slide this out, but it locks in, which is just brilliant. So I'll get this back in here. Pause it. Alright, so I have it halfway in. So if you just keep pressing it, locks right into place. Won't come out easy, doesn't really move around, and you still maintain your clicky functions. So that is it's just a brilliantly designed system. And on top of that, they included their new Saber diaphragm, which made wiring a lot easier. It made this compatible with for charging. It made the kill switch ready to go. The only thing you really had to do was connect, you know, power your switch leads and your accent LEDs to the chassis. The way I wired it up, it required a little bit more modification. I did a lot of extra wiring. I also shortened up some of the wires inside the Saber diaphragm because there was a little excess wire I didn't really like that much. But let me show you guys the quality of threads that we're dealing with in the emitter, and I'll show you how just insanely awesome the LED mounting solutions are. So upon further inspection, I noticed that it's a very smooth threaded system. There's no excess room, there's no wobbling. It's a very fine, tight thread that threads in just flawlessly and beautifully. And looking at this part here, I mean, it's a solid brass part with very fine threads, easy to thread in. And that little O-ring right there is what kind of keeps everything cinched down and your LED optic in place. Now, the LED I chose to mount right in here, and you can see it right there. It's just a really nice system. And then on top of that, this top piece right here comes off of this. So So once again, you have a very, very fine thread that allows for a nice smooth thread on of all the parts. And this part sits down quite a ways in here, which just reinforces the strength of this build. So with that being said, I'll show you the Sabre thorax. So let me get this put back together here. Get this back into focus. Alright, so I got the pommel off. And here's this pommel, and there's the pommel vent, which is just awesome. Now I've threaded the threads here with some grease here so it never binds up. Now the Sabre thorax, for the main feature of it, I mean, it's totally removable, and I went in and modified this right here. Let me get this in focus. Come on, focus. There we go. I modified the chassis to have a rice port, which I did because there's an internal shelf on the inside, which I drilled through and mounted a panel mount rice port. So that's a first. Well, let me remove it so you can kind of see this. So here's the chassis that comes with your Sabercraft Big Boy. Now, this whole thing is removable, and it's designed to slide your battery in. You don't have to solder to this battery at all. It slides in and makes contact with the screw in the back. And then this top one, when it slides on, it has a copper plate which takes the power from the positive of the battery and completes the circuit. Now these three supports right here, which hold the soundboard, are completely adjustable forward and backward. You're able to position it anywhere you need, and it keeps the soundboard held in with these little O-rings right here. And there's a foam pad on the bottom of these, so your soundboard is very protected, very secured. And the system is just amazing. It has plenty of holes throughout these supports right here for wire passage. As you can see, I ran accent LED wires here, speaker wires here, and then same on the other side. I ran my switch wires through here, up along the back, and then through. I wanted to eliminate as many wires going forward and over the SD card as possible. That way it makes access to the SD card a lot easier. Now, one thing I did custom on this one is, on top of putting the rice port in the chassis right here, I also added a second accent LED, which I'll show you. So we just booted this up. You just heard it. So turning it on, you get your three accent LEDs right here. I also installed a fourth right in here. Just, I don't know, there was a fourth accent LED pad, and I decided I wanted to use it. So overall, I mean, switch is just phenomenal. This chassis is just amazing. The top plate is bolted on with screws that you can see right here. And for the main wires, they kind of go, you can put them through these tiny little holes at the top, and it really helps keep stress off the solder joints and puts the stress right here, which means your soundboard is even further protected. So overall, for the price, you're paying $195 plus their shipping if they charge shipping, and it's just a phenomenal deal because you take this overall Sabre and compare it to, say, the Prodigal Son from Sabre Forge. Now, what do you get for $199 with the Prodigal Son from Sabre Forge? You get a hilt, and it's manufactured out of a much cheaper grade aluminum alloy. Their switch box is nowhere near the sophisticated. They just have holes where if you get an empty, they just glue the card on top of screws, so you don't even have a functioning switch. They don't even have USB charging. They don't have mounted accent LEDs right here. Their threads, as we come to know, are really loose, and the thin necks break a lot. And they don't even have an included chassis. You get this chassis and the wiring Sabre diaphragm, and a lot of the stuff already pre-wired, ready to go for you. So, I mean, this hilt is $5 less. So the quality, I'm just amazed. I really am. I can't stress enough how awesome this Sabre hilt is. And I heard that Sabercraft has 20 of these hilt runs left, and they're not going to do them anymore. And so I highly encourage people, if you were on the fence about it, you were thinking about it, do it. Seriously, do it. Even with the size, even though this is it's a little bit thicker than other hilts, you just can't beat the quality and engineering behind it. And after working for Sabre Forge for 3.5 years, and just coming to see how they design their hilts, and now seeing this, I'm just amazed. So just kind of just doing a quick overview again. So let me get the chassis back in, the pommel back in, and we'll just kind of go over the features. Alright, so just one quick last overview. I did install this with the Plector Labs Prism V4 and a TCSS Veco 28mm high bass speaker, which just sounds amazing. It's very loud. And I installed this with an RGB LED, which changes its colors. There we go. And then you got your auxiliary functions right here. Your accent LEDs. Oh yeah, and check out that Covertech. Look how dope that is. One last thing I wanted to show you guys. Now, Sabercraft gave you two options on how to install your LED module. You could put it right here, up in the neck, which I chose to because they included a nice little copper heatsink. And I like to eliminate my space between LED and blade as much as possible. But you can also install it here in the grenade grip with this awesome little heatsink. And what makes this heatsink pretty unique is it bolts together rather than screws together, which really, I don't know, it's cool, it's different, and it's very effective. They take the time to machine etch in positive and negative for ease. And if it focuses, they even put their little logo in there, which is bead blasted as well. And that's another thing, they did a lot of bead blasting too. So you have a bead blasted finish inside here where your USB charge port is. They bead blasted the recesses here in the pommel. Same deal in the speaker vents, and then again along the back here. It's just they took a lot of time to make this as install friendly for people as possible. They took a lot of time to add in minor details that they didn't have to put in. So that just kind of comes to show the quality of these guys and what they put into their products. Now this guy right here, it just sits right here, and it's held in place with this part right here. So overall, guys, the quality of the Saber was amazing. I was very excited to build it. I'm actually going to be buying one for myself to do some further customizations on. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, showing you the quality of the Saber, what you get for the money you pay. And again, guys, if you're on the fence or you're thinking about it, do it. Just like my shirt says, just do it. So anyways, guys, this is Justin with Vanguard Armory, signing off, and may the force be with you.